to me is sheer brilliance in terms of decorating, and the reason it is so special is that this is a way of doing rope lighting that is different than the ways that you see rope lighting out in the marketplace. Usually they have to be plugged in, or maybe they happen to be solar. They're generally not this flexible, so you can't bend them and spindle them around quite in the ways that you're seeing here. But to set this even further apart from the other rope lights you see on the marketplace, this one is battery operated, so you don't need the power of the sun. Look at how gorgeous that is with the rope light lining the walkway. You don't need the power of the sun. You don't need to plug it in or be tethered to something. And we have 3 colors to choose from. And this is the first time I have ever seen anybody give us a choice of white. You can do the cool white version. So if you have a lot of LED lighting in your home, a lot of the LED lighting or outside your home happens to have that bluish white light cast. They gave us the cool white version. But if you have incandescent lighting around your home, or you prefer the look of the warm white glow, we have the warm white option for you. But if you love the fun and the festive quality of multicolor, look at the beautiful jewel tones on the multicolor version that we have for you. Your price for a full length of 17.5 feet, your price is $18.96. It's barely more than $1 a foot to be able to bring this home. And of course, if you want to get multiples to frame out certain things around your home, you're more than welcome to do that. H212877. Just remember that the price begins now at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on QVC2 and is only valid for 24 hours until tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I want to bring in our very special guest, Nancy Brandmuller, who brings in awesome ways to decorate our houses inside and out.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you for having me. I am
Merry
thrilled
Christmas
to bring
in
this.
July.
Merry Christmas in July, and have fun decorating with these rope lights. They're awesome.
These really are awesome because I've always loved the idea of a rope light, but many times I feel like they didn't play so well because they were really stiff.
Exactly. You know, these are really an awesome light strand to decorate with. I love Christmas lights. My kids will tell you the thing that mom wants to do at Christmas time is see what everybody's done in their yard and then have some fun in my yard. So you can do all of these things that you're seeing around the set with your rope lights because they're flexible, and you've got 100 LED lights inside each strand.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, and there are 8 different functions,
and we're going to show you.
Function.
This is the cool part. We're going to show you the different functions because if you want them steady, they're steady. If you want them to twinkle, they twinkle.
They do. So I'm going to show you right now. Here's our box right here, and you're going to be putting your own D batteries in there. But there's an on-off switch right there. I'm going to turn it on and off. And then you've got your function lights. And there you're going to see, I'm going to scroll through the 8 just so that you can see that you've got some dancing, some flashing, some changing, some kind of going back and forth. And so you've got all kinds of different functions. Some fade in and out, but you get to decide, and you can change your mind.
That's awesome.
Every day,
here's
do
the cool
something
part.
different.
Some of them are slower and some of them are faster, but you know what else? We also have a timer function on this, so you don't have to worry about turning them on at the same time every
Isn't that great? Yes, it's a 6-hour timer, so it's going to turn on the same time every day that you turn it on the first time. And the other cool thing is, let's say you decide to turn them off for whatever reason. When you turn it back on again, it's going to go right back to the function you had chosen.
Perfect.
Let's show some ideas.
All right, let's show some ideas.
Maybe
Where do you want to start?
Let's start over here.
Okay.
So you have an entranceway to your house. You want to make it grand. So how about wrapping if you have these pillars? You can see how we've wrapped these. And this took 1 strand, Sharon. Just one to go top to bottom.
You know what? And that's really great because there's sometimes you find strands of things in the marketplace that are 6 feet long, and it sounds like it's enough, and it goes around 1.5 times.
Exactly.
And you want it to do the whole pillar.
Exactly. And no tangling of the lights. If you tried to do this with the regular strands of Christmas lights with, you know, the bulbs, you'd worry about them breaking. You'd worry about them tangling. How many times have you had the tangled lights? This is just beautiful. So you've got that nice clean look. I think this is really a designer look.
I agree
to have
with you.
this beautiful, because the tubing also kind of diffuses the light a little bit too. Just kind of makes it softer looking. Love it. So there you're seeing it on the columns. We've got it also going around the front here.
I'm crazy about this. If you've got great landscaping outside of the front of your house, highlight all of the edging that you have done.
And you can do that because it's battery operated. So you're not limited to where you can string a cord. You don't want that orange long cord coming from your house going across your grass, right?
Right, exactly.
You want to be able to put this and just see the lights. So beautiful. And we have this on one of kind of our flashing functions. Look how we've done the door, and we've decorated this beautiful ladder. So you can have fun mixing and matching not just the different patterns, but the colors as well.
You know, and I would highly suggest, like, whatever your baseline is for white, whether you want the warm or the cool, you pick the one you want there, but definitely get a couple of colored strands, because I learned, I used to be of the all white light sort of thing, and then someone said to me, but you can't really enjoy the one if you don't highlight it somewhere with a splash of color with something else. So get one or two of the colored light strands and just pop. Do like a pop of color somewhere on your lawn.
You know, it's kind of the same principle in your garden. You want your colors to show up, but you have to have white to accent.
To balance it out. You're
exactly.
So right.
So the same thing, I think, in your decorating with lights. You want to have a little bit, maybe you decide that you want to have mostly colored and accent with white, or maybe you want to have mostly white, one of the two whites, and accent with color. But either way, I agree with you.
And by the way, I do want to mention, as you're seeing this little poinsettia basket here inside the urn, that's coming up later on in our show, and it goes beautifully with the QVC
They
too
go
big deal.
really well together, absolutely.
Yeah. Look at this!
Here in our bush. So we just went ahead and put some in, and it took a couple of us just a very short time to decorate this whole set, because they're so easy to decorate with.
You know what, to your point, I want to bring this up for a second. If you have done the incandescent lighting outside on your shrubbery that you have, you may very well know how annoying and frustrating it is putting it up or taking it down when it gets stuck all inside where the leaves or maybe where the needles are, depending on what the foliage is like outside your house. Because of the nature of this being in the smooth tubing,
yes, it doesn't get caught.
Nothing ever gets stuck. It always looks smooth.
You're so right. That's right, exactly. So you're going to see also that we have outlined some windows right here, and we've got them on one of the chasing modes right here. And again, it's very simple, just a matter of doing the different changes right here on your battery box that you've got right here.
Is this one whole strand
That's
around
just
each
one.
window?
Pretty much everything that you're seeing here is there's one around the window, one around the door, one around each one of the columns, one underneath the steps there. So you're going to be able to decorate most things with one strand, or just easily kind of put them side by side.
17.5 feet is really a great length.
It is a good,
you know, again, you know, and when you start wrapping things, you realize you need the extra length in order to wrap something properly.
Exactly.
And 17.5 feet is a good amount of length to continue.
You want to show the length of 17.5 feet?
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you the box. Let's see here. Let's go ahead. And you know what? If this was with a regular strand that has the light bulbs, they'd be getting caught. They wouldn't be able to stretch. And they were a little bit knotted, but look how easy it was for me to undo that. So we're all the way across the set. So this is a really generous strand of lights.
And you know what I like too, here at the very end of that, of this, where we're continuing that 17.5 feet, I'd say there's probably about a foot of the most delicate wire, which is good because it gives you extra lead cord to hide the battery box.
Exactly.
If you want to. You want that to be nice and thin so you can sort of squirrel it away and hide it under some
look how
other
easy
things.
I'm rolling it up. Imagine doing this with those lights. You're having to try to, put them together, miss the bulbs, not worry about breakage. So easy to whip with these.
Nothing got caught.
Nothing got caught. I'm just able to put it right back. So when I'm done, I just roll it up and I put them away. So easy.
So because it's not a traditional incandescent bulb, we don't have to worry about it burning out anytime soon, right?
And you're right, they last for a really long time. Now, here's the other thing. So we've got it sort of near a step right here. Maybe you're lining steps. You could not line steps and you wouldn't worry about them if you had used regular Christmas lights. Here, if I'm going to, look, I'm gonna step on it, not gonna hurt it. So if you have them on steps or you have them on walkways and someone happens to step on it, you don't have to worry about it because they're going to hold up because they're in this tubing. It's flexible, it's strong, really just great
You don't
ideas.
have to tether it to anything. It doesn't need to be plugged in. It doesn't use solar technology. You've got the battery box and the timer. Here are some of the ways, some decorative ideas that you can use for these lights. I love how beautifully and in a linear fashion really wrap around outside of the window.
Oh, I know. It really is a decorative look, and I love that too because I have tried to wrap a banister before. I wasn't very successful. Let's just say that.
I do it with garland and it's a massive
It's really,
project.
really hard. Exactly. So here you've got something that's beautiful, that's easy, that lights up nice and brightly.
I love
and
this.
Yeah, I love it outside. So Sharon,
Yes.
you're not limited to just Christmas.
That's so funny. As I was looking at the white walkway there, that was going to be my next thing. Was if you're having a party or you just love the look of light, you don't have to use this at just Christmas time.
No, you
Depending on your
don't.
application.
No, this really is all year decorating with lights. So it can be your lightscaping in your garden. That's so elegant. Or maybe think of someone who's maybe having a wedding and it's outside. You can go ahead and decorate this, especially I imagine with one of the lights, or maybe if you're playful, you can use one of the colored versions.
And I love the fact that we give you two choices
Yep.
of white. So
Isn't that
this is our
beautiful?
cool white.
Yep.
You have a lot of the holiday lights that are done when LEDs first began. Their whites had this little hint of blue to them.
Yes.
They designed this to match the blue-white lights. It's called cool white.
Right.
But if you like the warmth of a traditional incandescent light, this is the warm white version. But then we also have the multi right next to it, which has all of these beautiful jewel tones in already. The multi is the most limited color between all of them. But I have a question. What's happening over here? Why do we have an ice bowl?
I am so glad you mentioned that. I was just going to show you. So this shows that this is in ice. So look at, they're still lighting, they're still flashing and doing their thing.
Right.
You don't have to worry about the weather. They can get wet. They're sitting
Snowed
in
on?
ice. They can get snowed on. We were camping and I was using these to kind of outline our campground site.
That's
so
such
if you're
a great
someone
idea.
who is an RVer, it's great. It adds fun. It also helps you find your campground site at night.
Yeah, exactly. You're
And
going to know exactly where you
we
are.
had a big thunderstorm come through and these were sitting in a huge puddle. No problem. They were just lighting away still through the night.
So I need to ask you about two things. First of all, they're battery operated. So
Yes.
what kind of batteries and how long will the timer, if we use the timer, how long can we
Okay,
get
so
up?
you need D batteries, 3 D batteries, and they're going to last on steady mode about 30 days.
Okay.
On any of the flashing modes, about 60 days.
With the timer?
With the timer.
With the timer, okay.
They have a timer built in, so you're going to have 6 hours on, 18 hours off. It's going to come on
I
the
like
same
that
time.
it's 6
Isn't
hours.
that-
Sometimes it's only 4 or
Right.
5, and I just want a little bit more time.
Right, so as soon as it gets dark, especially like in the wintertime, if it gets dark around 4 o'clock, you want it to last till 10.
Yes, of
So there you
course.
go. You don't want it to be, fading out about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that 6-hour timer is really nice and generous, and it just makes your home look so elegant.
Beautiful,
I love it.
elegant, easy. So easy to
Yep.
decorate with because you don't have any bulbs sticking out of this to get caught on things, or sometimes they stick out in the wrong direction and then you're monkeying with
Yes.
just one bulb that's kind of irritating, that's
Right,
not
I
going
know.
the right way. Here they're all done in this fabulous linear fashion, and they really highlight all of the other decor that you have and can be used indoors and outdoors. That's one of my favorite applications, lining the walkway, because
Yes.
that can truly be used all year long.
All year long, it's beautiful, and you can see all the different ways we have on the set. You can see we have it, the colored version along that little brick wall, and that's how I would envision if you have a garden and you want to highlight it all year long. That's a beautiful way to do that. Or like you said, you have that pathway. Imagine if you have a back garden and you have that little secret garden maybe going out through an arbor or through a gate, and you can line the way out there. It would be so beautiful. Maybe even put a big X on your lawn for Santa during Christmas.
Oh, that's so great. The kids
Santa,
would love
land
that.
here.
Do not miss this house, please.
Right, have some fun. It really is only limited by your imagination, and you're not limited by a cord because you have a battery box. You can go ahead and have the freedom to use this anywhere in your yard that you want to.
Even around a pool, if you're having a pool party this
Right.
summer and you want to get a couple of these in the multicolor just to add that little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
of whimsy and
That
fun
would
if
be
you're
fun.
out later into the evening, think about it. This is garden beds, pathways, steps, pools, holiday displays, columns, windows, doors.
Right.
Really, it is up to your imagination as far as where you want to put these. And then you've got the 8 different functions. So if you want it to just be solid, it can be solid. But look at every one of these strands is on one of the different functions, and they all have a hugely different personality.
Right. And I like kind of mixing and matching. I love the idea of kind of having some of them, solid, maybe like we have the columns there in the solid mode, but we have, a varying one on the little ladder there. You've got the door outlined in the colored version. Have some fun with it and kind of choose maybe your main color, which would be either the warm white or the cool white, or maybe the
Right.
color, and then accent with one of the other ones.
You know what?
And that makes it really stand out.
There is something we didn't see.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The umbrella, because I don't think you can see it unless we somehow get the camera up underneath. As I was looking back at the set, I said, oh yeah. So you can kind of see how this was lined on
Right.
the inside. So if you just have a regular patio umbrella, you can line this on the inside of that to add some extra whimsy. If you're having
Right.
a party right in the middle of summertime.
Right, you can use these all year long. That's what's really awesome about them. They are, you know, going to be fine in so many different kinds of weather. You don't have to worry about them. They have the battery box, so that means they're flexible to use in so many different places.
Right.
And it really takes the hassle out of Christmas lights. You know, when I was little, our big job to help my dad was to unravel all the Christmas lights and make sure that we found the ones that were burned out. And then
Absolutely,
it was
I
a
was there
huge